I'll try.
Yay.
Yay.
Hi, everyone. Hello. So we decided to record our meeting and discussion of what's upcoming. And it's homecoming weekend, plus our 30th high school reunion for the class of 91. Congrats. And then Dennis, you graduated in 89, right?
On time 89.
So 34th for you, right?
Wow.
Did I do my math right? Yes. And so we're calling this the Raider Reunion because it's open to any Raiders that knew us plus or minus 4 from the class of 91. And so thanks to both of you for joining me in this meeting as we talk about what's coming up. So we've already set the date for the weekend of September 24th through the 26th. And Scott Cook suggested it because it is homecoming at Riverdale. So there's lots of cool activities that we have planned for the weekend, and many of us have already booked our flights for that weekend. We have a little bump in the road, and we wanted to present it to you all, and it has to do with the COVID environment. This D variant is scaring people, and it's also going to probably change some of the ways that the states do their travel, requirements, if you will, including the price of gas right now, I think, is having an effect on the price of flights. So try to book it pretty quick, you guys, unless this COVID situation makes prices cheaper, you can kind of take that risk and figure it out. But with that said, we got a little stumble. And so now I'm going to let Lara kind of explain the situation with what we have with Luminary. So take it away, Lara.
Okay, thank you, B. So in speaking with Scott Cook, who, if you guys don't know, he is actually the principal at Riverdale High School now. How ironic is that?
Awesome, I think. Very cool.
Thank you, Scott. So he suggested that we do the homecoming weekend. We do a Friday night walk through the school. He would assist us with that. Kind of a shout out at the football game, homecoming football game for class of 91 plus minus. And then he suggested that we use the Luminary Hotel. He said a lot of the classes that have done this before use that hotel. I have a connection with my company called Conference Direct. One of the things my company does is put on a lot of conferences across the world. So we're very, very versed at putting on conferences, costing of conferences, et cetera, and so forth. I have a full team at my disposal if need be, but I think we can handle this one. But Conference Direct has negotiated a contract with the Luminary and has given us a very good price. So the hotel rooms are usually $345 to $399 a night. If you want to stay at a 5-star luxury hotel, you can have that hotel room for $299 a night. You don't have to stay there. You have options to go other places. So that's one perk. The second perk is having a really nice dinner with a dance floor and a DJ and, all the nostalgia that we want to create in the Luminary dance hall or room that we're going to have. The price is coming out to the price of the food plus the price of tax and gratuity, which you have to pay anywhere you go in any situation where you're having a dinner. And of course, some decorations and so forth. I've decided to donate $1,000 to cover the cost or lower the cost. The issue is we have to sign a contract with the Luminary, and we've gotten down to a really good minimum, which is only $4,800, really. So if you take out the $1,000 I'm donating, that comes out to $3,800. Doesn't seem like a lot of money, but that's the minimum amount we have to spend. If something happens and we don't get the buy-in from our fellow Riverdale High School graduates, what's going to happen is I'll be ending up owing the $5,000 personally, and I don't want to do that. So the
and I obviously will help you as well. But yes,
yeah. Right. What we need is to find out, is there an interest in you guys coming and seeing all of us, and if there is, we need you guys to sign up. So that's where the cost of $125 comes in. That's the price of the food, which is $95, plus the 20% gratuity, plus 6% tax, comes out to about $112.50, and then about $12 a person for decoration. So we're at $125. It's a little steep, but it is going to be a nice dinner, a nice way to get together, remind ourselves of where we were, where we are now. But COVID is making that a little uncertain for us. So we don't want to get stuck holding the bag if you guys aren't going to come to the reunion. We get it. You know, I fully understand being aware of the situation, being worried, maybe being restricted from traveling. So we're trying to gauge interest in what we should do. So that's one of the areas or one of the avenues we could follow.
And by the way, Miss Lara or Lara, which I called you since
Lara,
thank you so much, because with your connection through the conference direct and with your generous donation, thank you very, very much. And round of applause for Lara. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And then now it brings us to Mr. Dennis Nelson, who is going to talk about the other option. If the price is a situation and we just want to remember our roots and don't really care about the luxuriousness that is the Luminary, then we have this other option, which I'm totally down for too. Take it away, Dennis.
I am definitely down with that. Another option for us is to go pretty much old school. We have people who are running the Legion in Lehigh Acres, who are willing to give a back room. Now, before you guys go with the cigarette smoke and stuff, it's a completely separate area, because I know people are like, oh, it's smoky in there. No, there's a completely separate area that we can have it there. I mean, if we have to, we can use a tent outside, and that would allow the price to drop. So if people don't want to spend, $125, and then when you think about it, another $30 on parking, that's what it's going to cost you a night to park at.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
The parking is included. Sorry.
Oh, in the room. Okay.
Wi-Fi and parking included.
Oh, okay. Then that's not so bad. But I mean, if you're not staying there, I mean, that's going to be another issue. But I would still say yes, Jennifer's. So that would probably be another option. I'm figuring the price might be somewhere between $70 and $75 a person there.
And even if it isn't, and say there is a quote unquote profit margin, because we're all not trying to make money on this. We're all volunteering ourselves to plan this, you guys. And plus, because I was the class president, I'm still committed to try to make this reunion take place. And so is Patty. And she's with the class of 90. And so she had to do some training today, and that she wasn't able to join us in the Zoom meeting. But she's also, knows the situation. And we also have Jennifer Jones Devaney, who's been involved with some of the planning as well. And with all of that said, I'm okay with either or. So in lieu of just trying to do the right thing and making sure that everybody's as close to happy as we can possibly get, and obviously not everybody's going to be happy, but we're going to allow there to be a vote to be done. And so it's going to be either the Luminary or it's going to be either the American Legion. It's just going to be those two choices. We're not going to make it more complicated than it needs to be. And so regardless, it's happening. The weekend is taking place, but we just want to make sure that we're not being too risky and going way overboard when we can possibly just keep it as simple as possible. Correct. So is there anything else that I'm forgetting to mention? And yes, Dennis.
From what I hear, the Legion is going to have open bar on Friday night after the game. I'm just telling you, that's what I heard.
Oh, snap. Well, sold. Well, definitely
for everybody.
We're going there. Okay.
Yeah,
and it's nostalgic.
Game, there's open bar.
Right. And it's nostalgic for me because I grew up in the Legion with my father, having been in the military. I got my Shirley Temples. Sometimes they would let me sit at the bar. Okay. So for me, even the smell of smoke in that place is okay with me, even if I have to put up with it for the weekend. It's okay.
That's why I said the good thing about that is they're two separate entities. So where the reunion would be is in one hall, and the bar and the where everyone smokes at is in another section. So,
and it's air conditioned inside of that.
And it's air conditioned.
Right. And again, thanks for it being the American Legion, the prices of things are very much cheaper.
On the upside to that is if we lower the price and we have more money left over to give back to the school, which is the most important thing that we want to do, is is be able to give them some more money. So
Nail
listen,
it on the
I'm
head.
old school Riverdale, so I don't need fancy. We could have had this at the end of Milwaukee for sports with some kegs and
Option 3.
yeah, option
Option 3 at the circle. You know?
Free booze for everybody.
I think it's just the company that we have, and that's why we need your vote to just let us know, because we want you to attend. You know, we want to find out what everybody is doing and just be together. So that's the priority. Everything else is second. Okay.
Yep.
So
and then I wanted to say, with the proceeds, if there's any left over, Scott Cook said that they are actually remodeling Riverdale next year, much needed remodel. And with that, we can buy sort of a stone, for lack of better words, that says donated by the class of 1991. So that's
Perfect.
something we would do with the proceeds. We could actually put ourselves permanently in place at Riverdale High School forever.
right on.
Hey, JJ.
Hey, JJ.
And even beyond the class of 91, because again, this is a Raider
Plus
reunion.
minus.
That again, as we progress into the future too, I kind of like the idea that we can have our friends that were seniors when we were freshmen
JJ, turn your mic on.
in attendance too. Hello, JJ.
Hi, JJ.
Yeah, your microphone's off, cutie.
Oh, and she's frozen.
She's
And
frozen.
So JJ is amazing. She is with Signature Threads. She's got a fantastic business in Riverdale, where she is also going to be assisting us with some fundraising, where we're going to have our own alumni shirt that we'll be able to wear on Friday night at the football game.
Hold on.
And so we'll try to start sales on that. Jennifer, you're frozen. And
I don't
walk somewhere else when you get better Wi-Fi.
You
Hold
can
on.
probably turn
I'm
your
trying to find a
video
quiet
off.
spot.
That helps sometimes.
I might break this out. I might actually wear this.
Yes, you should totally wear
Oh
that.
my
Or just
goodness.
bring it.
Yeah.
Bring it as extra decoration. 'cause
Oh
we're
my
Wow.
gonna
goodness.
y'all.
Yes. You know, Scott Cook told me they retired the old Raider and he got rid of it. So it's his fault it's gone.
No, we're bringing it back, y'all. We're gonna bring
Yeah.
this.
I'm like,
one
we're bringing it back.
We're gonna call it the retro version, brought to you by the Raider Reunion peeps. Do it.
Oh, goodness.
I don't think I can get my
Nice.
big melon in that thing.
We'll figure
So
it out.
we've
JJ,
almost,
what are you doing? She's
yeah, tell us what's going on with you. And we're pretty much done because we want to keep this meeting pretty short because we want to upload this and then and just give everybody the information based on the discussion. But do you have any questions? Because we saw that you had some questions about the pricing. And so Lara's here to kind of explain.
No, so I was just confused, but then somebody messaged back and I read it after the fact. It explains a lot. I saw the quote that Amy gave you, which was not what she told me in the shop. So the quote that she sent included alcohol, the whole 9 yards. And she said she went over and above on the alcohol, of course. But even the rental was not what she had said in the shop. Again, it was a casual conversation that I had with her. So, you know, obviously she changed her mind on that. But I was just confused because you were talking 100 and something people, and I thought the out the door cost was $5,000, and it was just confusing. But as far as the t-shirts go, I have a couple things ready. I just left a message for Scott at the school because before I print anything with the Riverdale logo, because it's trademarked now, I just like to get a yes from him. Like I sell them here, but I just want to get permission from him before I put that out there. So that's really where we are with the shirts as far as that goes.
Yes, absolutely the proper thing to do. And thank you so much for doing that legwork. Again, how cool is it that Scott, class of 91, is the principal there? So it kind of makes things a little bit easier because of that connection.
Yeah.
All right. And so I think we're good to go then. And then JJ, we're going to upload this and you'll hear part of our conversation from earlier. But now what we're going to do is we're going to bring this to a vote. And we're going to explain that we just want to know one thing or two things. First thing is, are you coming? Did you already book your flights? Are you interested in attending? And then the second thing is, then we're going to place a vote. Do you just want to go to the Luminary? We'll take the risk. We're okay with it, but we just need to know that there's going to be attendance. Otherwise, we're going to use option 2, which was what Dennis explained through the American Legion. And Jessica Blair, Christian Rapp, they're all members of the American Legion as well as myself. I think, Lara, you might still be in the, I don't know if you're still paying your dues for ladies auxiliary stuff.
I'm not.
But again, we're feeling like if people want to have a less expensive option, and because of this nostalgia of the American Legion for some of us, I think that would be an okay location as well.
And
But we,
for the Luminary, we would need a minimum of 45 people for the break even.
okay.
Just so that we know we have that.
I say
And then-
it's a great thing. Let take a vote and see what people say.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then it's also, I think, Larry, it's important for you to also mention that we can cancel the event. So say all hell breaks loose. All of a sudden, there's a second surge of the thing that shall not be mentioned, okay, with the whole D-variant thing. And say then it really puts, stumble in the road there. What's the date, Lara? The first date, I think, where it's only going to cost us like $2,000, right, at the Luminary?
Yeah, well, they'll hold whatever money we pay, which will go on me. They'll hold that money till we decide to change the date.
Reschedule.
So they'll hold it up to 2 years.
Okay, for 2 years.
Oh.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's not a problem if we do decide to change the date, change it up. And, from what I know, from what I see, events that we do in Florida is not going to close down. So that's the issue, is if something happens and people don't want to travel because they're worried, they're scared or whatever, that's where the hotel is saying, unless the government shuts us down, we're going to expect you to be here, or we're going to keep your money, one or the other.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So all is fair, I think, in discussion of the reason why we're now a little bit worried that we may have to change it up. We don't want to make it look like we don't have it together, because we literally have been talking about this for months, and again, there's this risk now, and that we saw in the contract before we actually submit it to the Luminary, and then we're fixed. And then we might be out, I think you mentioned $7,000. I was like, oh, no. Like we can't be out $7,000.
Yeah, I picked that off the top of my head because I couldn't remember. But the minimum we'd be out if we cancel it by August 24th would be $26.90.
Thank you for that. That's what I wanted. I was just looking for it on my phone.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah,
I still wanted
with
to
all
do
that
it.
said, I think we can go ahead and conclude and stop recording, and we'll get this published. And thank you all